If you grew up in Markham or Scarborough, you may have heard some of the urban legends and ghost stories of this area. The most told urban legend of this area is the Happy Birthday Sue story. She's also referred to as Kim Tracy or Candy. The story goes that on Sue's birthday, her boyfriend decapitated her by the Old Finch Road. He used her head as a paintbrush and wrote "Happy Birthday Sue" on the wall. Legend is that if you drive over the Old Finch Road bridge and sing "Happy Birthday," you will hear her screams. I was told this story in high school by somebody who went to Markham District High School, where the urban legend might have originated. Some people tell stories of driving down into the forest in this area. They shut off their car and roll down the windows, and they start hearing wailing sounds. People hear footsteps walking behind them on the bridge. Sometimes people hear giggling or screaming. Apparently, somebody who lives in the area says that there's a large boulder on the north side of the Bailey Bridge on Sewell's Road, and there were many times that it was spray painted "Happy Birthday Sue," or at one point it was R.I.P., rest in peace, Sue. I knew guys in high school that were going down at night to visit a woman who lived in her station wagon with her 2 dogs, and they called her Pinhead, and she did magic tricks for them. Somebody said that the murdered girl's mother was overcome with grief and would sleep in her car at Old Finch Road to be close to her daughter's spirit. I always found this area to be very spooky. There's just an energy around here. And it could be why they used this bridge off of Sewell's Road in the movie The Curse of Chucky. Kids would ride their dirt bikes, and maybe when they got older, they would hang out and drink in the forest. When people look into the history, it was reported that over the last 60 years, there were only 2 homicides in this area, and none of them were named Sue, or Kim Tracy, or Candy. But there is definitely an energy, and it's a very spooky area. The noises that are heard through the forest could be explained by the Toronto Zoo being located not far from the Old Finch Road. The sounds of peacocks or Arctic wolves could definitely send shivers up your spine. In the dark night, down deep in the forest, there is a field at the northeast corner of Morningside and Old Finch Road, and there was a ghost story about this field. This field currently is covered with trees, but when I was growing up, it was a field. There were no trees in this area, and early one morning, somebody was going to work, and they saw a woman dressed all in black, very old style clothing, walking across the field through the mist. There is also another haunted story that's possibly an urban legend about a bus accident from the 1970s when 3 children were in a bus that got stuck on the train tracks just north of Old Finch Road. And it is said that if you park your car on the train tracks, all of a sudden you will feel the car move a little bit and you will hear the children and your car will get pushed off of the train tracks. People have reported that when this happened to them and they got out of their cars, they looked and saw tiny handprints all over their car. Years ago, I drove through here with a few of my friends, and we were telling the ghost story, and one of the girls in the car was really scared that she was tearing up and almost crying. And the rest of us, of course, were cackling and laughing, and none of us else were afraid. But she was really upset, and I stopped the car on the train tracks to see what would happen, and there were no trains coming. But we didn't get pushed off the tracks. We didn't hear any children's voices. But the poor girl, whose name was Tamika, was crying. She was upset. She didn't like it. She thought we were all mean. And we kept driving. And we came around. They were just starting to develop that area. And we came around the corner and we stopped, waiting for the traffic light. And there was a cement bridge that we were right next to, and written on that cement wall were the words, "God loves Mika." And she was even more freaked out. It was pretty creepy. There is a river that runs around Old Finch Road. It's called the Rouge River. It is part of what is left of the ancestral Lake Ontario that formed after the last ice age. The mouth of the river starts in Toronto and moves northward into Markham, Pickering, Uxbridge, and Stouffville. The human history of the Rouge River dates back over 10,000 years. There were the original nomadic native people who were hunters, the Huron-Wendat, who were then replaced by the Haudenosaunee, and after they moved on, there was Anishinaabe and Mississauga who also moved into this area. Before the treaty was completed, the British government was already making plans to colonize this area. Due to the American Revolution, a Mennonite family from Pennsylvania named Reeser relocated around Concession 10 in Markham in 1804. On March 26, 1806, the father of the family, Christian Reeser, was chopping trees and a tree fell on him and killed him almost instantly. He is buried on a small private plot on the family's property. The Reesers are some of the original farmers for this area, and they have been operating their farm for 200 years. We called it Old Finch Road, but if you want to find it, you have to look for Old Finch Avenue. Take a drive, on your birthday perhaps. Happy birthday, Sue. Happy birthday, Kim Tracy. Happy birthday, Candy. Or happy birthday, insert your name here.